On the edge of a cheerful meadow, painted by wildflowers and brushed by gentle breezes, stood Thistleberry Bunny School, a cozy place where young rabbits gathered to learn, play, and dream. Each morning, the meadow rang with laughter as bunny students hopped along mossy paths toward the little schoolhouse, eager for a day of discoveries. Benny the bunny was always the first to arrive, with his snowy white, velvety fur gleaming in the sunlight, and his sky-blue vest buttoned up neat and tidy. He pranced through the tall grass. His bright emerald eyes sparkled with excitement, and his soft crimson scarf danced in the morning breeze. Benny adored school. He especially loved meeting new friends and learning things he'd never dreamed possible. One spring morning, as Benny entered the classroom, bright as a daisy and twice as cheerful, he noticed something new. Green easels lined up by the big sunny windows, and crisp sheets of heavy paper were spread across the tables. The whole room smelled faintly of sweet flowers, and Benny realized with a sniff, a hint of paint. Miss Petunia, the gentle gray rabbit who taught their class, hopped up to the front, white chalk in paw. Her ears perked with excitement as she announced, "Today, class, we are going to become artists. We'll learn how to paint pictures of the world around us. Anything you like. Let your imagination soar." Benny's heart fluttered with curiosity. He had never tried painting before. He reached one dainty pink padded paw into his vest's secret pocket, finding his lucky shiny pebble, and gave it a squeeze for courage. As the classroom bustled with excitement, Benny sat up at an easel by the window. The meadow outside sparkled with morning dew. Sitting beside him was his friend Molly the mouse, a tiny, lively mouse with big ears and a cheerful squeak. Molly grinned, her pink nose twitching. "Benny, what are you going to paint?" Benny thought for a moment. "I want to paint something happy, something that makes everyone smile, but I don't know if I can." Molly squeaked, "Of course you can. Just follow your heart." With a breath of courage, Benny dipped a brush into a merry yellow paint and swept it across his paper, imagining the warm sun that shone above their school. Next, he painted fresh green blades of grass and dots of scarlet, blue, and violet for wildflowers. As he painted, Benny's one slightly bent ear wiggled with delight, and his fluffy tail twitched like a happy cotton puff. But then, Benny paused. It still looks a little plain," he whispered to himself. Just then, a gentle giggle drifted over. Rosie the robin, another classmate, was painting swirling clouds and flittering butterflies. She tapped her brush on her jar of water. "Try using more colors, Benny. You can layer them and make new shades. Watch!" Rosie dipped her brush in blue, then dabbed it over the yellow to make green, a mixture of magic right before Benny's eyes. Benny's emerald eyes widened. He carefully tried blending paints just like Rosie, swirling blue and pink to make gentle purples, mixing orange and gold for sunsets, and dabbing pale green for new leaves. Bit by bit, his plain picture blossomed into a patchwork of beautiful, bold colors. As the classroom filled with soft sounds of brushes swishing and children humming, Benny found himself humming too. With every color he tried, he grew braver. When paint got on his paw, Benny laughed and wiped it gently on a rag. He liked to keep things clean, but he decided a little mess was part of the fun. "See, Molly, Your painting of the carrot patch is wonderful. Molly blushed beneath her whiskers. When the bell chimed for break, the class hopped outside while their paintings dried. Benny skipped along with Molly, his scarf streaming behind him, feeling proud and eager. I can't wait to see everyone's pictures when we go back in. After snack time beneath the old willow tree, the class returned to find their paintings arranged all around the classroom walls. Where once the room had seemed plain, now it shimmered with every color of the rainbow. Benny's painting of the sunny meadow smiled back at him from the wall. He was startled by how bright and beautiful it looked, nestled amongst the others. Miss Petunia clapped her paws together in delight. Everyone did a wonderful job. Our classroom is as cheerful and bright as a spring morning. What marvelous young artists you are! Benny's heart swelled with happiness. Rosie fluttered over to Benny and peered at his painting. I love the way you painted those flowers. They look like they're dancing in the breeze. Molly added, and your sun is so golden, I feel warm just looking at it. All at once, Benny felt a tickle of courage and spoke up. Maybe we could make a painting together, all of us. We could make the biggest, brightest picture ever and hang it in the hallway for everyone to see. Miss Petunia's eyes twinkled. What a wonderful idea! Teamwork makes art even more special. The very next day, the class gathered in a circle around a long, empty piece of paper. Everyone brought their favorite brush and their brightest paints. Benny, wearing his trusty sky blue vest and crimson scarf, suggested they paint a garden. Not just any garden, but an enchanted one with magical flowers, singing birds, and laughing bees. Rosie painted swooping rainbows and fluffed clouds. Molly added twinkling stars and diggling butterflies. Benny painted a shimmering, twisting path that wound through the garden, its stones gleaming as if they were made of jelly beans. The more they painted, the more ideas bubbled up. Benny giggled every time a friend tried something new. He cheered on Rosie's funny rainbow rabbits and Molly's whispering sunflowers. They added bunny burrows with tiny doors, mushroom stools with polka dots, and tree houses perched high in the willows. Benny tucked secret treasures, a shining pebble here, a clover lucky charm there, into special corners of the painting, inviting friends to look closer and find them. When the last brushstroke was painted and their paws were sticky with color, the class stood back to admire their work. The enchanted garden stretched from wall to wall, brimming with colors and teeming with stories. Benny couldn't help hopping in place, his fluffy tail twitching with glee. We did it! Look how bright and happy it looks! Miss Petunia beamed, her ears standing tall and proud. I think you've brought sunshine right into our school, Benny, and everyone. This painting will make every bunny and every bird who walks these halls feel just as happy as you do right now. The painting stayed in the hallway all through spring and summer. Benny noticed that on rainy days, bunnies who felt a little sleepy would sit by the mural and start to smile. Rosie sometimes brought poems to read beside the painting, and Molly was inspired to write a song about magical meadows. One day, as Benny neatened his vest, he caught a glimpse of himself in the painting, a happy white bunny with shining green eyes and a red scarf, hopping through a field of colors. He realized then that the magic of painting was not just in the colors and shapes, but in sharing happiness with friends and being brave enough to try something new, even when you're not sure what will happen next. From that day on, whenever Benny dusted his paws or buttoned his vest, he remembered how a few swirls of paint and a sprinkle of courage made the world a whole lot brighter. And every morning, as he walked into Fizzleberry Bunny School and saw the colorful walls, Benny smiled, knowing that together they had painted not just pictures, but a beautiful new memory that would last forever. When the first golden leaves of autumn swirled around the schoolhouse, Benny looked at his secret vest pocket and whispered, "What wonderful adventures will we paint next?" But that, dear reader, is another story. For now, the classroom glowed with color and happiness, and Benny the bunny hopped home through the meadow, his scarf fluttering like a cheerful flag, dreaming of all the magical things he'd yet to discover.